Spain for the third round of the 2019 European Le Mans Series. It's been 10 years since the championship was last here in Barcelona, and this time we're adding an exciting new format, racing from day into night, which is going to prove to be a big challenge on such a technical track.
Hi, this is Danny Kloss, racing driver from Inter-Europol competition team. Here we are on my home racetrack, Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya, and now I'm going to show you the most exciting corners of the track. Come with me. Sector 1, turn 3. This corner is all about patience, all about taking the rhythm and obviously take the right line. The thing that happens here is when there's a lot of race going on, there's a lot of marbles coming from the tires that are on the outside part of the track, and that's dirt. So if you try to overtake somebody, if you try to go over those marbles, then you're lost. You completely kill the tire, you completely get a lot of dust on them, and for 2-3 laps, you won't be able to get them back. Sector 2, turn 7. Okay, so this is a very special corner. First thing, brake leg. Second thing, accelerate early. The thing is, from here, I don't know if you can see it, but the uphill, it's really, really big, and it comes to a really, really quick corner, right corner. These two spots are crucial for a race weekend. Sector 3, turn 10. I really like this part of the track for two reasons. For what's going on track, because this is one of the biggest overtaking points and there's a lot of tension here. And for the off track, because you have big tribunes here, back here, where you can see all the third sector. And this is the most amazing one because you have 5 or 6 corners, amazing for the public, and the race is gonna be at night. So that's more exciting.
This season, the 77 Dempsey Proton Porsche and the 51 Lutzich Racing Ferrari have been all but inseparable. The German car leads the championship by 2 points thanks to 2 pole positions. And another Porsche, the number 56 Project 1 car, is looking in better shape, having clinched the GTE AM world title at Le Mans.
The Porsches are quite strong at the moment, but we're not far behind, so I'm pretty sure we will catch up. One of the keys will be tire management. It seems to be quite rough on the tires, but we never know what's going to happen. It's a nice track, always love coming here, so it's going to be an exciting weekend.
It was a great experience as usual, and obviously I cannot deny that coming away with the final result we had was just incredible. ELMS is a bit different. I think that we had a bit more experience in the WEC Championship, but we are motivated. We hope to be doing well here in Barcelona. I think we finally got the hang of the different tires, so here we run on Dunlops, and I think that we finally understood how to make those ones work better.
It's a representation of an angel because it's the symbol of my protection, and there are two flowers in there. It's my parents. Alleluia, that means thanks to God. So it's really a tattoo that protects me. I just love the last sentence of the Invictus poem. I am the master of my fate, I am the captain of my soul. Two different philosophy. One, you are protected by something higher, and the other one is just you manage your life.
I got a tattoo which says if you can dream it, you can do it, and then the 24 Hours of Le Mans logo. I got it on Friday before I left for the race on Saturday morning, and it was very spontaneous. I mean, I realized what a big achievement it was for me that I actually was leaving for Le Mans, something which I had dreaming of for many years and trying to achieve for many years. Olympians, they also get the 5 rings, and I got the 24 Hours logo.
First of all, I became 18, all the friends wanted a tattoo, so I had to find a reason for getting one as well. So it's 6 years old now, and it's from the Danish monarchy. We have this Danish crown for the monarchy, and I think it looks cool, so that's basically why I got it. I have my birthday inside it, just to have some personal stuff mixed with it as well.
American team Euro International leads the LMP3 classification with the number 11 Ligier. In 5th place, Swiss rookie entry Real Team Racing has quickly turned into a podium outsider. A goal shared also by M Racing, a much more experienced team who have struggled to find good fortune thus far this season. We're currently lying 5th in the championship, me and David Drew. We're doing well so far. We finished both the first races in Le Castellet and Monza pretty well. We're trying to enhance the team's performance, aiming for the podium. From my side, it's all about improving myself, and we want to move forward and get the best out of these great LMP3 cars. The 24 Hours of Le Mans is the dream, but we'll have to step up to LMP2 for that. Maybe next year if it all goes well. We've had one pole position, we've got some good points so far as well, but podiums and victories, yeah, they've eluded us so far. We're trying to work on good strategy, keep an eye on every detail, like pit-in laps, driver changes, trying to optimise everything. And I think we just need a little bit of luck.
2 years ago here, exactly. I've never read a book. Probably yesterday. I'm laughing every day, so probably yesterday. Last year, middle of 2018, Paul Ricard, F2. On the radio. I won't say more. People know too much about this.
this morning. Queen, another one bites the dust. Last year in Paul Ricard F2. I don't take many photos actually, I'm thinking. Was of my dog in the winter in Bangalore. For Jules Bianchi. I can't remember, I think it was Annabelle. Just now, last word.
Reigning champion G-Drive Racing leads the LMP2 class after the first two races, just 2 points ahead of the number 28 car from IDEX Sport. Fifth to date, United Autosport's number 22 car. They're waiting for circuits that are more suited to the Ligier chassis. And stepping up from LMP3 has been a good move so far for Cool Racing. They've impressed with a pole and some valuable points, thanks largely to the input of Nico Lapierre.
It is more difficult this year. The grid's probably a little bit tougher than it was last year. But at the same time, this time last year, we weren't anywhere in the championship and we're lying, I think, fifth. The first two races were definitely going to be our toughest tracks to go to with the Ligier. So with the rest of the circuits being on high downforce, we should be a bit more competitive. I've never raced here. I have less knowledge here than a lot of the other drivers on the grid. It's a very technical track. I quite enjoy the track actually, so if you enjoy the track, it's normally because you're quick. So yeah, technical track, a lot of cars, you know, it's going to be quite tight in Sector 3 between all the different classes, so it should be quite interesting.
LMP2's been a great journey so far. The car performance makes it incredibly enjoyable to drive. Endurance is all about improving every detail, and our side as drivers, it's all about experience and confidence in the car. Grabbing a podium would just be fantastic.
Always have great fans in Spain. They're brilliant. They're some of the best in the world. It's always a pleasure being in Barcelona and racing in front of the Spanish fans. It's a great track and it should be a great race. Just looking forward to it.
It's very nice in the sun, melting a little bit. That's why still in the t-shirt, but yeah, looking forward to what's going to be a hot race.
It's like being in Little Mexico. This is where all my fellow ancestors come from, so I'm very happy to be here.
Home race for you.
Yes, it is. So nice to be here. 20 minutes to my house, so it's really easy. It's amazing to live here. It's the perfect city. You have everything, the beach, the mountains, perfect racetrack, so cannot be better.
What can you tell me in Spanish?
Hola. You like it?
Gio, you've already competed today in the Michelin Le Mans Cup. How are you going to deal with it again, another 4 hours?
You know, we are motorsport addicted, so I think maybe we would love to do 4 hours more later. I don't know. But for sure would be quite tough, also because here is very, very hot. But I mean, 1 month ago we did Le Mans 24 hours, so I mean, we did race for 24 hours, and of course will be quite challenging, but we're looking forward to do a good race as well.
How are you going to find driving into the night tonight? Obviously, the checkered flag's not until 10:30.
It's always a great pleasure to drive at night, and it's good to be back here in Barcelona. And last night I really enjoyed driving in the dark. It was good fun.
What do you expect from the race? Can you finish in the place you've started?
Yeah, we hope so. As we all know, 4 hours is quite long. Anything can happen. We are looking for a clean race, and let's see where we're going to end up.
This has all got to be about claiming your first ELMS victory, hasn't it?
Yeah, you know, we'll try to get it. Since 2 years we are already fighting for the top. We finished a lot of time in second position, so of course today our goal is to try to take this win, but we are more looking for the championships.
Ready to go here in Barcelona. On the left on pole, IDEC Sports number 28 car. Ahead of the Cool Racing 37, row 2, G-Drive 26 and 43 from RLR M Sport. Away we go. Well, a good clean start this time, and a very good start from the outside the front row. Antonin Borkau with the silver highlights. The 37 Cool Racing car looking to take the lead. He's got the racing line, he's got the grippy track, he's got the lead. Rusinov third. Oh, contact further back. The Graf car of Alexandre Cuneau went inside John Ferrano's orange and black RLR M Sport car. One of the Ferraris taking a shortcut through corner 1 and 2. You have to come a long way round to come back on. Cool Racing the leader, Antonin Borga from Paul Lafargue and Roman Rusinov. Alexandre Cuneau up to 4th, and there's more trouble for the RLR M Sport car. Through goes number 30, that's the blue and black Duquesne Engineering car, Pierre Rag. And on the left of screen, 21, that's James Allen for Dragon Speed. He goes by as well. You can see Pierre Rag in front of us as we ride with James Allen. So real trouble for RLR M Sport, qualified in 4th, but losing places left, right and centre. And there's trouble. Turn 5, John Ferrano is the car you can't quite see. That's Julien Canal for Panis Barthez. Oh, the JMW Ferrari goes one side as the P3 cars go the other side of that incident.
Drive-through penalty, car 23 for causing a collision at T5.
Well, that might be a tough break for Panis Barthez, but there was definitely trouble for John Ferrano. This is Jack Manchester for Carlin in 5th position, right behind Pierre Rag. Duquesne Engineering. Duquesne with a really good race in the Michelin Le Mans Cup encounter earlier in the day. And through he goes for 5th. Carlin in the European Le Mans Series for the first season. And right behind is James Allen with the stars down the nose of the Dragon Speed car. In our GTE battle, JMW's Ferrari leading from Kessel Racing. We're on board with the JMW car. It's Wei Lu who starts, the Canadian. Right underneath him there, number 60, that's Sergio Pianezzola, fresh from a win in the Michelin Le Mans car that he shares with Giacomo Piccini earlier in the afternoon. And as he said before the race, we're racing addicts. We would race another 4 hours after this one. Maybe we'll go back to him in 3 hours and 54 minutes and find out whether he's still got a head of steam. But right now, he's towing down the main straight. He pulls out. He's looking for the move. Pianezzola down the inside to take the lead for Kessel. Oh, a tiny rub between the two. And that was bold stuff from the Italian. He leads JMW in second. LMP3 leader Mikkel Jensen for Euro International. There's the multicoloured Oregon car. Damiano Fioravanti in second. Jan Elische in third with the yellow highlights on the M Racing machine. Another of the popular normers. Jan Elische with Uncle Ivar Muller, who runs the team, fresh from racing in the World TCR Series. And here's our overall race leader, Antonin Borchardt, new fastest race lap. And for the series, that's a record here. They haven't raced here before, 134.644, and he is building the lead gradually over Paul Lafargue, 2.74 seconds now, creeping away. Oh, here's a battle for second. Wei Lu losing out to Fabien Laverne, Lucic Racing's Ferrari, also on the podium in the Michelin Le Mans Cup race earlier. Oh, facing sideways, 24, that's Panis Barthez, that's Leonard Hogenboom, the Dutch driver. And 23 in the pits, but not to serve the penalty. There is more going on here with Julien Canal. This is not a good moment for Panis Barthez. Roman Rusinov in third position for G-Drive, the reigning champions. Alexandre Cuneau for Graf, the 39 car, in fourth position. The red, white and blue of France on the machine. And Rusinov, as ever, doing a really solid job. Oh! United Autosport's number 3 car off on the dirt. That's Christian England. Mike Gouache was on the podium in the Michelin Le Mans Cup for United as well. And that's a long way off, and he's clattered the barriers. And that's John Ferrano at the same spot, turn 5. Look at this, straight off down the hill. Is there some fluid on the track?
Full course yellow, full course yellow.
Now this is just a little early for regular pit stops, but strategically, well, here we go. James Allen handing over to Henrik Hedman at Dragon Speed. They have opted to come off their regular schedule. Roman Rusinov in the pits, he will take fuel and continue. Here's their, quote, gentleman drive in the field as Henrik Hedman is at Dragon Speed. And he comes out in front of the Cool Racing car and the IDEX Sport car that were behind them. So Rusinov, at the moment, the race leader from Alexandre Coigny and Paul Lafargue. Alexandre Cuneau in fourth spot at the moment for Graf. And the reason they're going slowly, of course, is the full course caution. RLRM Sports' John Ferrano back on track. So losing a little less time than otherwise they might have done.
3, 2, 1, green. Full course yellow has been removed.
Release the speed limiter and go, go, go. Well, at least the IDEX Sport car is Paul Lafargue up to second. Immediately jumps the Cool Racing machine of Alexandre Coigny. Coigny's car didn't look like it was off the limiter. Oh, that's trouble. That is Esteban Garcia.
Drive-through penalty, car 60, for causing a collision with car 9 at T1.
And that is Sergio Pianezzola getting it wrong under braking. Here is our LMP2 battle. This now for fourth place. Alexandre Coigny, the silver and blue, ahead of Pierre Rag, the black and blue of Duquesne. Right up behind the Cool Racing car. And down the inside he goes as they get caught behind the LMP3 machine in front. Through he goes for fourth place. Good pass by Pierre Rag. Battle for fifth in GTE. And this is Manuela Gosner for Kessel Racing ahead of the green and white car of Aaron Scott. Spirit of Race, the Ferrari on the inside of the Ferrari. And Aaron Scott moves up ahead of the all-female crew car to grab fifth position. LMP3 leader Jan Ehrlichey for M Racing. They said they need a little bit of good fortune, but they've got to look after the details and hope that it comes from. He's ahead of Ross Kaiser and Colin Noble. James Littlejohn in fourth. Battle for the lead now is Roman Rusinov holding on ahead of Paul Lafargue. Don't forget the IDEC Sport car out-qualified the G-Drive machine, started on the front row. Oh, and more trouble, Esteban Garcia for real-time racing rejoins. Now what happened here? Oh, this is turn 8 and he spins across the nose of the leader. How did Rusinov miss him? That was just pure luck. Rusinov again under the gun. IDEC Sports, Paul Lafargue all over the back of him. Rusinov drives a good car in attack and in defence. He knows this car inside out. Really a very, very accomplished driver these days. And Roman Rusinov clinging on to the lead. Graf Racing battling for third. They go by Aaron Scott. Alexandre Cuneau inches ahead of Pierre Rag, clinging to the white line on the inside, making Rag go the long way around the outside in the Duquesne car, but that's where the grip is. Oh, and that's a really brave move again from Pierre Rag, but he knew the grip would be there. The only danger was that Alex Cuneau wouldn't get the car stopped and clatter into the side of him.
Drive-through penalty, car 28 for speeding in the pit line.
Oh, that's a disaster for IDEC Sport. Look, they're in second place, Paul Lafargue, but a penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Well, we know the car released the speed limiter all right. Team saying activate it 10 metres before the line. We might have a problem with the auto cruise. Sorry, guys, I don't know what happened. Don't worry, Paul, we'll catch them up. Paul Lafargue back on the attack now, and Cool Racing's Alex Coigny is his first victim. That's a change for fourth in LMP2. So back up to fourth place overall from second after that drive-through. Good recovery so far. LMP3 battle for second. Colin Noble down the inside of Ross Kaiser. Late lunge on the less grippy part of the track, but the Nielsen driver holds on. Moves up to second in LMP3. The Ferrari's ahead of the Porsche. There's been a change for the lead in GTE. Fabien Laverne for Lusic Racing, 51 ahead of Egidio Perfetti in the Team Project 1 Porsche. We ride with the Porsche driver who was our leader a moment or two ago. Sun sinking towards the horizon. Don't forget the 4-hour race here will finish in darkness. LMP2 battle between Harry Tinknell for Carlin and John Falp for Algarve Pro. Tinknell takes 9th place in LMP2. In the GTE category, there's Aaron Scott going down the inside of Wei Lu. That's for third in GTE, using the P cars to hide the move. Race leader Roman Rusinov in LMP3 traffic with Pierre Rag right behind. Well, we've seen right from the start of the race, Pierre Rag not averse to having a lunge. And as Rusinov goes by the Oregon LMP3 machine, Rag is still right there. Jaap van Uytert waiting to take over. Oh, and trouble for James Dayson. Had a few offs in the Michelin Le Mans Cup race. He's only just taken over the car from Ross Kaiser.
Full course yellow, full course yellow.
Well, this will bring more pit stops undoubtedly. Duquesne are in. Pierre Rag handing over to Nico Jamin. That car right in the hunt as G-Drive also hit their marks.
Green, full course yellow has been removed. Full course yellow has been removed.
Duquesne back out with Nico Jamin, and G-Drive will have Jaap van Uytert at the wheel. Roman Rusinov has done his stint. Here comes van Uytert. Steaming out onto the main straight. GTE changes as well. Sergio Pianazzola handing over to Claudio Schiavone in the Kessel Racing number 60 Ferrari. Third driver of the car is Andrea Piccini, and here's our leader. Jaap van Uytert leading by nearly 26 seconds now over Nico Jamin. And van Uytert undoubtedly one of the stars last year of LMP3 and this year of LMP2 as well. Talking about big star newcomers, Lusic Racing, Fabien Laverne sharing with Alessandro Pierre Guidi and Nicholas Nielsen. They have been superb in Michelin Le Mans and European Le Mans Cup racing. And this is the Project 1 Porsche rally crossing. Can David Heinemeier Hansen keep it off the barriers? He does. Wow, look at that. Woo! Cool head and soft hands there to control that bucking Bronco. More trouble. And that is the cool racing car of Antonin Borja. In the final corner, looping out of the chicane perhaps. Let's see what happens here. Esteban Garcia in the 9 Real Team Racing car. And look at the Inter-Europol machine going around the outside and through the gravel. Just avoids contact with Antonin Borja. Oh my goodness. That really could have been a multi-car pile-up, couldn't it? Championship leaders in LMP3 Euro International. This is Jens Pedersen. He is currently in 2nd place in the race here in Barcelona. So another big hatful of points potentially coming their way. And that can only help them at the head of the championship table. Pit stop for Lucic. Fabien Laverne is out of the car. And that means Aaron Scott now the leader in the 55 Spirit of Race machine. But he will stop soon as well. None of these cars have magic fuel efficiency buttons. So if one is low on fuel, the others will be as well. Heading downhill to turn 5, lots of prototypes. Oh, look on the right, Andrea Pizzatola all through the middle. That's Mima Rojas for IDEC Sport. Now he clatters into Tony Wells of Nielsen, who loses a place as a result. Pizzatola grabs 5th, Rojas down to 6th, but they all just got away with that one. Look at this replay in traffic again. Pizzatola goes by the GTE and P3 car, and Memo Rojas, I think he may actually have tagged the nose of the Spirit of Race Ferrari there, looping himself into a spin. Trouble for Jack Manchester, the Carlin car facing the wrong way in the final corner. Yellow flags are out. 10th place for them at the moment. And this is the incident down the inside of United Autosports Ligier. Monster lockup. Look at how red the brakes glow. And he just avoids contact twice there. Another car in the tyre barriers, 24. That is again a Panis Barthez machine. That's Timothy Beret. And he gets caught out. Makes a mistake behind the Ferrari. Yikes, and that's a big one. Safety cars out, and rescue crews on their way to the Panis Barthez number 24. Good news, Timothy Beret is out of the car. Pit stop for G-Drive. Jaap van Uitert staying in the car. No tyre change.
Turn 4, please pick up the pace to close the gaps behind the safety car.
Cool racing in the pits. Nico Lapierre taking over 37. There is Lapierre in the cool racing machine.
Safety car is in, we are green.
Now, does the cool racing car get up to speed properly this time? Yes, it does. He's right ahead of Jonathan Hershey, the red, white and blue of France on the Graf racing machine. 39 car right behind Lapierre. We ride on board down the front straight. Which way are you going? Staying left or going right? He goes right down the inside. Lapierre having a little weave to try and find the heat in the tyres. Good lunge from Jonathan Hershey. And Lapierre does not give up the fight easily, does he? Through turn 1 and 2. Here we go. Hershey down the inside. Lapierre has to have another little check up there. This is a good late move by Jonathan Hershey, fully committed. That's proper wheel-to-wheel racing. Look at that. Handful of lock right in the turning point. Oh, trouble for Hershey, 39 car, with a problem. Has he just outbraked himself? I think he might have. And that has allowed Nico Lapierre to go back past. Trouble for our LMP3 championship leaders. Jens Pedersen is in the gravel. What happens here? 3 into 1 won't go. Pedersen trying to go around the outside, the number 6 car and the Ferrari, and off in the gravel.
Full course yellow, we are under full course yellow.
Yet another caution and perhaps some more pit stops. 41 cars started this race. It is a busy racetrack. Number 11 Euro International looks like it's being towed behind the wall. That might be the end of their race. Tough break for them, but things going well for our race leaders. G-Drive, the reigning champions.
Green, Full course yellow has been removed. Full course yellow has been removed.
Looking at the battle for second in LMP3 with the orange highlights, RLR M Sports Martin Rich right behind Ultimate with Francois Heriot. We're on board with the Frenchman in third position. You can see the blue lights, the evening sunshine. P2 United car goes by. United's number 3 car, Mike Gouache, leading the race, was on the podium in the Michelin Le Mans Cup race. United looking for another one here. Into Europol's number 34 car, looks like it's the end of their race. Adrien Tombe in for Leo Roussel, who was injured in a crash at Monza in May. Tombe making his debut here. Problems for high class. Dennis Anderson, Anders Fjordbacks, Orica in the garage. Battle on still for second place overall. Nicolas Jamin for Duquesne, ahead of Nico Lapierre for Cool Racing for a moment, and Lapierre back down the inside. Good move by Nico Lapierre, up into second position now. What can he do about the race leaders? Is G-Drive too far away? There's still an hour of racing to go, but how will the pit stop strategies work out and affect this race? Cool Racing team watching from the garage, up into second place. Driver's stop for Jonathan Hershey to hand over to Tristan Gomedy at Graf, the number 39 car. Nicholas Nilsson has taken over the Lusic Racing Ferrari. Other than that, situation as it was, still leading in GTE. What a race they're having, what a season they're having. Lead battle in LMP3, Mike Gouache, United Autosports number 3, now caught by Francois Heriot for Ultimate. RLRM Sport not far behind. Number 2 United car in fourth, on board with Heriot. And his target is in sight, an hour and a little bit to go. This could be a fantastic grandstand finish in the dark. Oh, and a mistake by Mike Gouache, drifts out wide and there's a change of lead. Heriot goes straight through. Now he catches the Kessel Racing Ferrari, and maybe it's that put Mike Gouache off his stride. Gouache usually a very safe pair of hands at United. Well, change for the lead, Ultimate in front. Jean-Baptiste Lahaye likes the look of that one. Trouble for Oregon. This is our youngest driver, in fact, Gustas Grimbergas, the Lithuanian. Looks like he's got damage on the right rear corner from contact. Somebody's hit him. More trouble. And that's Martin Rich, 5th in LMP3.
Drive-through penalty, car 7 for a contact with car 15 at T1.
That was Tony Wells who made contact with Martin Rich.
Full course yellow, full course yellow.
Another mandatory 80 km/h full course caution, and the lights at the top of the hill there, that is the battle for third in LMP2, Graf 39 versus the 37 Cool Racing car. And what a beautiful Catalan evening this is turning into.
Drive-through penalty, car 13 for causing a collision with car number 10.
The Oregon team get to work, changing the rear end of the car. There's a driver change there as well, and that was the lead into Europol car of Martin Hipper and Nigel Moore that did the damage. Final pit stop for Duquesne. Richard Bradley is in for the last hour of the race. Jean-Eric Verne, the newly crowned double Formula E champion, gets ready for his stint. And Jörg Bergmeister will be chasing for a podium with Project One in GTE. Well, right now, Joop van Uytert out, Jean-Eric Verne in. G-Drive can do no wrong, and Verne is living the best 2 seasons of his life.
Drive-through penalty, car 56, 5-6 for an unsafe release from the working line.
Well, they nearly clattered into the 55 car, Matt Griffin there. In the pit lane, Francois Heriot at Ultimate. This is the view as you come in to make your final stop. Mathieu Lahaye closest to us, ready to take over. His brother Jean-Baptiste started the car, and they've got a real shot at winning here in Barcelona.
Full course yellow has been removed, we are green, we are green.
This is the time of day that at Le Mans would be happy hour. Just enough visibility before we get into full darkness. Will it be happy hour at the end for G-Drive and Jean-Eric Verne? They are leading here as night falls. Nigel Moore and Martin Hipper leading in LMP3 despite that penalty for contact with the number 10 car. United's number 3 and number 2 machines in second and third, and Ultimate's number 17 car along with the number 7 Nielsen machine, all aiming for a podium finish. Well, anything could yet happen, and it really depends how the pit stops play out. Lots of action right up until now in the first 3¼ hours, with safety cars and a slew of full course yellows. Now that visibility is reduced, will they be better or worse at avoiding each other? Middle of the shot there is the Project 1 Porsche Jörg Bergmeister after that penalty, down to 6th position. Right in front, Rahel Frey in the Kessel Racing Ferrari. Bergmeister around the outside. Rahel holds her line, Jörg holds his line. He doesn't have enough traction though. Despite all of his vast experience of racing Porsches, there just was no way to make that one work. But he is really piling the pressure on the Swiss driver. So Rahel Frey hanging on to 5th ahead of Jörg Bergmeister. IDEC Sport are in. Paul-Luc Chatin making the car's 6th stop. They've had 2 punctures. Stay on the grey stuff. Tristan Gormady in for Graf, final stop for them as well, in a podium position when they came in. G-Drive lead from Duquesne. And in the Graf garage, everybody looking relaxed. There's Alexandre Cuneau. Nice bit of bromance there. Battle for the lead in LMP3 after the Inter-Europol car made its final stop. Mike Gouache ahead of Tommy Erdos, the Brazilian and the American, both racing for United. This is United's 300th race as a team, by the way. All recently with Ligier's. New leader Tommy Erdos in LMP3, but for how long? Behind the United car, the green and yellow of Inter-Europol, that's Nigel Moore in number 13. This is 1st and 2nd. And Moore coming back fast at the Brazilian. Having a little look down the inside, having a big look down the inside, a huge lunge. Whoa! And Tokyo drifts his way through corner 1 and 2. Wow, no wonder they like that. There's Danny Kloss closest to the camera, one of his co-drivers. On board with Mathieu Lahaye for Ultimate. That's Mike Gouache. He's going down the inside of the United car for 3rd in LMP3, and through he goes. That's a good move. Jean-Baptiste Lahaye and François Heriot like that. Final round of stops then. Cool Racing break to the pits first. Antonin Borja stays in. No time for driving changes. Jean-Eric Verne stays in at G-Drive as well. Came in from the lead. Cool from challenging for the podium, let's say. Now, how's it going to work for Graf? In is the number 30 car from 2nd place, Richard Bradley and Duquesne. Inside the final quarter hour. Last 10 minutes of the race, battle on for 2nd place. Jean-Eric Verne way ahead for G-Drive, but it's Richard Bradley versus Tristan Gormady. In the middle is the 55 Spirit of Race Ferrari. Graf closing in on Duquesne, French team versus French team. Tristan Gormady all over the back of Richard Bradley. The British driver trying to hold off the Frenchman. Tristan Gormady is so close. Out of the final corner, he's in the tow. And Bradley sitting in the middle of the road. He needs to be on the left, but can't leave the right open. Now he has to go right. And that's exactly what Gormady wanted. The grips around the outside. He doesn't have the overlap. Can Bradley hang on the dirtier part of the track? And it is really dirty offline now with all the excursions and so much tyre rubber down. And Bradley drifts out wide. There's the opening that Tristan Gormady needed. Through he goes for 2nd place with 6 minutes left. Jaap van Uytert thinks it's all over. No, just wait, says Roman Rusinov. He's been around endurance racing long enough. Final lap for Jean-Eric Verne, the double Formula E champion. And his first European Le Mans Series race of the year is going to end in the way that many of his races have ended for the last 2.5 seasons, with victory. G-Drive again doing a superlative job. It's a really strong driver lineup. Roman Rusinov, Joop van Uitert and Jean-Eric Verne. The first European Le Mans Series race at the Circuit de Catalunya here in Barcelona is won by G-Drive. Jean-Eric Verne takes the checkered flag for victory. And now Roman Rusinov allows himself to celebrate with Joop van Uitert and the rest of the team. There will be celebrations too at Inter Europol, because Nigel Moore in the number 13 car, right behind the RLR car that's a lap or two down, is going to claim victory in LMP3 here in Barcelona. A huge result for Nigel Moore and Martin Hipper, and Inter Europol and Lucic Racing claim their second win of the season in GTE. They've won in Michelin Le Mans Cup, they've won in European Le Mans Series, new to Le Mans Series racing this year. What a great job they're doing. Behind winners, G-Drive Graf were second, Cool Racing claimed their first LMP2 podium, Polestar to Zydek only fifth, and behind the LMP3 winners into Europol, second for Ultimate, third for United's number 2 car. JMW finished second behind Lucic in GTE, Spirit to Race third, and all Ferrari podium.
It's a couple of good weekends for me. I'm very happy. My teammates did a fantastic job. Not a single mistake. The car was great, very good to drive. So it was a pretty straightforward race for me. But I had a lot of fun pushing, and it was good. It was a good race.
Jev's second straight win with G-Drive. Teammates Rusinov and Uitert. Jonathan Hershey, Tristan Gomedy, Alex Cuno second for Graf. And a first ever podium for Cool Racing in P2 with Antonin Borger, Alexandre Coigny and Nico Lapierre. Victory helps G-Drive increase their lead over IDEC to 16 points now, as Graf jumped from 6th up to 3rd ahead of Duquesne. Mission accomplished for Inter Europol. Victory in LMP3 for Martin Hipper and Nigel Moore.
We know we haven't got the speed of the other Ligiers and especially the Normas, but as we've showed from the first 2 rounds, we just need consistency and good championship points. In the traffic, we were really, really strong, so we did it. But big well done to Inter Europol, all the lads, Jan, absolutely everyone, Mike Rowe, and obviously Martin, because he did a mega drive.
The A brothers and François Heriot finished second for Ultimate. In third, the number 2 United car, Wayne Boyd, Gareth Grist and Tommy Erdos, a 154th podium for United Autosports. Martin Hipper and Nigel Moore's win allows Inter Europol to grab the lead after Euro International scored 0 points. Ultimate in third creep a fraction away from the number 2 United crew in fourth. The championship battle is well alight.
We did a very good job, honestly, all together. We worked hard in the weekend to have the paces in the race, because we know the key was the tire deck in this track. So we tried to set in the car as much as we can to save the tires. And Niklas and Fabien did an amazing job. I have just to drive to the end and manage the paces and look after the tires, because I know maybe it can happen in a safety car, something like that. I need to be ready after the start, and exactly what I did. Yes, but Lucic Racing and all together, we did an amazing job this weekend.
Second win of the season for Lucic. Jeff Segal, Wei Lu and Matteo Cressoni for JMW. That's their second runner-up spot in a row, but it's the first podium of the year for Duncan Cameron, Matt Griffin and Aaron Scott at Spirit to Race on an all-Ferrari podium. Lucic haven't been off the podium this year. With 2 wins and a third, they now take the points lead. Dempsey Proton struggled here in Spain. JMW remains strongly in third place. After the race and the champagne, what more do you want than some drinks and tapas in the pit lane for the entire European Le Mans Series racing family? Let's hope they made the most of the gorgeous Catalan weather next time out. With the World Endurance Championship at Silverstone at the end of August, it may not be quite the same.
Yo, check this out.
First pass for the lead in GTE, Sergio Pianazzola in the blue and purple Ferrari, slipstreaming Wei Lu in the yellow JMW Motorsport car. A classic Catalan first corner move, deep to the inside, control it under braking, a little bit of rubbings racing, and through you go. That's the way to do it. Pass number 2 in LMP2. Look at the car on the left. Nico Lapierre sees that Nico Jamin is held up behind the GTE cars, and he cuts to the inside. Through he goes into turn 11. Nico Lapierre always with an eye on the main chance. Final pass in the darkness. We ride with Tristan Gomedy, 300 kilometres an hour into the braking area at the end of the main straight. Richard Bradley right in front, this for the podium. Allows Bradley to brake late and go in deep. And then as the Duquesne car struggles for traction into turn 3, Tristan Gomedy needs no second bidding. Through he goes. Made your choice? Why don't you go to the ELMS socials and vote?